What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Austin Blaney, aka Motorsports Fanatic, and welcome to yet again another episode of Motorsports Monday with Motorsports Fanatic. So this Sunday, the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series was at the Sonoma Raceway for the running of the Toyota Save Mart 350. Jamie McMurray had the pole, once again, the second pole in the year at the Sonoma Raceway. So then I dropped, and then I think it was about maybe 10 laps later when Kyle Busch had accidentally spun Brad Keselowski in the hairpin turn 11, but it was completely accidental. He did not mean to do it on purpose whatsoever. That happens all the time in that track. So then that happened, and then the race went on for a while, and then there was a restart because someone had spun, Landon Castle had blown in an engine, and then the caution came out, and then on the restart, Clint Boyer had a flat tire, and then he had gotten spun by Jamie McMurray, which collected Kevin Harvick, and then ending Kevin Harvick's day, disappointing day for Kevin Harvick. So then the restart dropped, race went on for a little while, and then Dale Earnhardt Jr. was racing Matt Kenseth, and then he had hopped the curb really hard and then got into Kenseth, and Kenseth spun and hit the tire barrier. Very, very, very hard contact for that number $20 General Camry, but he walked away perfectly fine, got out of the car. And then after that there was a restart, laps winded down, and then AJ Allmendinger was having a very good day, and then Dale Earnhardt Jr. had accidentally got into him, and then he was right there, and he knew that he was there, but he kind of did an accident and then corrected him into the wall, ending AJ Allmendinger's day, which is very disappointing because, he doesn't have a lot of opportunities to win. He's not a fun team, and he's a good road racer, so it was a very disappointing day for that number 47 Kingsford Camry, SS. So then, after that, the green flag had dropped for a little while, and then Carl Edwards down to the lap, so it was Carl Edwards versus Jeff Gordon. And then on the final lap, Edwards had stopped, and then Jeff Gordon almost went by him, but then, he couldn't, and then he ended it. And it was funny, the interview, he kept saying that he grew up watching Jeff Gordon, and then racing was honored, and Jeff Gordon had said that he's been getting that a lot lately. So yeah, that was a good race. And then the NHRA was in New England this weekend, and the results were Top Fuel was won by Tony Schumacher, and Funny Car was won by Ron Capps. And then Formula 1 was in Austria this weekend for the first time since 2003, and it was weird. Esteban Gutierrez had his tire loose. He hadn't had one of the tires on, and then he got out of the pits, and then he couldn't get back in. And then once again, it was a battling day by Mercedes-AMG Petronas, because it was Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton, and they were battling it. And then Nico Rosberg ended up winning, with Lewis Hamilton finishing second, which has happened many times this year. And then Nico Rosberg is leading points, and Lewis Hamilton's finishing second. And their feud is over, by the way. They were having some troubles because Nico Rosberg had won Monaco, and then he kind of had to feud some, but it was over now. So they're totally over it. And then next week, the Verizon IndyCar Series is in the Houston at the Reliant Park Center for the running of the Shell and Pennzoil Grand Prix of Houston. It's a doubleheader, Sunday, Saturday, so be sure to watch that on the NBC Sports Network. So, and then the NASCAR Nationwide Series was in Road America, the big road course in Elkhart, Wisconsin. And then there was this one driver that stuck out named Alex Tagliani, who was a former IndyCar driver, and he's driven Nationwide before, and he's driven sports cars before, so he's a pretty big racer too. And then what happened was that he had started on the pole, and then the majority of the race he had ran in the top 5 and top 10. The only time he really fell out of the top 5 was when he had to pit. So then it started raining, and then they put on the rain tires, and he was dominant after that. He was leading for a really long time, and then the track kind of dried out, and then a caution came out 3 laps to go, and then on the pace lap, he had run out of fuel, so it was a very tough day. And then on the restart, with 3 laps to go, he restarted 23rd, and then on the second lap, he moved up to 10th, and then on the last lap, he finished second. So very amazing job, and he will be back in the car at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. So as always, I'm your host, Austin Blaney, the Motorsports Fanatic, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.